we have a problem with agriculture. It uses too much water, it emits too much CO2. Especially for us in the city, we emit even more carbon because it has to be delivered to us. So how do we solve the problem? We grow right here in New York. Where? Rooftops. Viraj Puri and his team in Gotham Greens are doing just that. Let's check it out. Hi Viraj, Frank.
Hey Frank, welcome.
Nice to
welcome
meet
to Gotham
you.
Greens. Nice to
Thank
meet
you.
you as well.
Very stunning.
Thank you. Looking forward to showing you around and teaching you a little bit about Gotham Greens. We actually got going in 2011 when we built this facility, and at the time it represented the first commercial scale greenhouse urban facility of its kind really anywhere. Within the early days, the demand for the products started outstripping supply, and we were like, wow, we're really onto something good here. So we decided to expand the business and enter into a great partnership with Whole Foods Market, which is one of our biggest customers, and a really like-minded company that really cares about food. So we actually built a greenhouse on the roof of one of their stores here in Brooklyn, Gowanus, Brooklyn, and that's been a big hit. And now we're currently building a facility in Queens, which is 60,000 square feet, which will be the largest rooftop greenhouse facility in the world.
How many square feet is this?
This is 15,000 square feet.
So that'll be
four times the size. Yeah.
15, 30, 45, 60. There you go.
These are some basil seedlings, Genovese basil. So we start by seeding organic, non-GMO seeds in this little substrate. Then after the plants are about 2 weeks old, we'll transplant them by hand into these growing systems here. So this is a more mature basil plant that's probably about a month old.
So this is hydroponic. There's no dirt involved in this.
That's correct. The plants receive all their nutrition from the irrigation water itself.
And I guess it uses a lot less water?
Yeah, so we collect all of our irrigation water for reuse. We use about 10 times less water than conventional farming. So as water continues to become a more scarce resource, we believe this form of agriculture is going to have a really strong role to play.
It seems pretty easy to agree with that, and I think I do. So let's talk about the sustainability of this.
Agriculture is responsible for the majority of the world's fresh water usage. This form of agriculture, because we recirculate all that irrigation water over and over and over again, we use about 10 times less water than conventional farming. In terms of land use, we use about 20 times less land per pound of product that we're producing. So this greenhouse could be 1 acre, but the yields are equivalent to a 20-acre farm.
And is there anything that can't be grown hydroponically?
Well, technically you can grow anything hydroponically because hydroponics is a delivery of nutrients to the plants. And these are highly perishable crops that often have to travel long distances. So things like rice, wheat, barley can be stored dry and that grain is dry. But a head of lettuce, if it's being shipped 3,000 miles from California or Arizona or Mexico to a plate in New York City, it's got 3,000 food miles on it, and essentially you're just shipping water. It's 95% water you're shipping across the country.
Do you ever just pick a leaf off of here, or does that totally ruin the whole thing?
The growers will get really upset at us if we pick on it, but it's very tempting. Every section, once it's harvested, new seedlings will take their place. We're continually seeding and harvesting, so there's something to be processed every day. All these products are pesticide-free. We feel really strongly about not using harmful chemical pesticides in food. So in order not to spray pesticides, we introduce insects in the greenhouse every week. So those might be some of the insects that you're seeing that are preying on the bad bugs. So this is our bok choy. Bok choy is one of our real crowd pleasers here. It's a popular crop in the fall and the winter. It can be sautéed, stir-fried. It's also really good in a salad. So most of the lettuces that we grow on this facility are about 35 days from seed to harvest. And if you're conventionally growing this in the soil out in the farm, it's probably going to be about 60 days.
Why is that?
A lot of the reason we're able to grow this in half the time is the climate control. We've got sensors located all over that are tracking temperature, humidity, light level, CO2, oxygen, vapor density index, and all these variables are fed to a computer control system that we've programmed to turn equipment on and off. We've used enhanced glazing materials that insulate the greenhouse. We've got a thermal blanket.
I see that.
This sort of reduces the volume of air we need to heat in the greenhouse. There's passive heat gain from the building below. Another great thing that we pride ourselves on in Gotham Greens is the product that's harvested will make it to a supermarket shelf or a restaurant plate within 24 hours of harvest. And if you're a consumer buying it for your fridge at home, it's going to last in your fridge for a couple of weeks versus a lot of stuff you might buy that's already about 10 days old and it only has a couple of days of shelf life on it.
Can New York run all of its vegetables off of just rooftops? I think it can.
There's thousands and thousands of acres of unused rooftop space in New York City, so theoretically, yes. However, practically speaking, we're not going to be replacing getting vegetables from elsewhere, but I think it has a significant role to play. The object is to just try to bring New Yorkers, urban residents, city dwellers, a little bit more of a fresher product, make our cities a little bit more green, a little bit more sustainable.
Yeah. It really is produce for a city. It makes perfect sense. So it's a great product. It's got no pesticides on it. It's delivered to your door as fast as it could possibly be delivered in the 21st century, short of growing it yourself.
Nothing not to like, right?
Nothing not to like. I hope that everyone, when they see the Gotham Greens box now, they realize that they've probably traveled further to the supermarket than the produce itself.
Well said. You were absolutely right.
So that's it. Thank you, Virash.
Yeah, thanks for
really
coming by.
Great to meet you.
Take care.
Thanks. Here we have Gotham Green's beautiful bok choy, and now that I know where it came from and how much love and care went into growing it, I want to do very few ingredients and cook really, really fast and try and keep it vibrant. First thing we want to do is put our wok on high. Get this thing as hot as it'll go. When you look at this, you can see how vibrant each piece is. You know, you can tell that it was freshly picked. The stems are firm, you know, the leaves are green, there's no wilting, and this is the advantage of urban agriculture. I found some smoked garlic at the store, and I've never used it before, but you know, it looks so cool, and so I thought, let's just give it a try. All right, so there's some garlic. All right, we'll get a little bit of ginger here. And you just kind of go like this. Look at that. You see, and we have very small amounts here. So we'll just go thin slices. And I guess we'll dice it. You know, the whole thing with wok cooking is speed. This is the one thing where you really want to have everything ready to go. You can't kind of cut as you go. The cooking time is literally going to be 40 seconds. Here we have some sesame seeds, single shot of high smoke point oil. So here we have grapeseed. Boom. And I'm going to make a little sauce with fish sauce and dark soy. Dark soy is a very molassesy, sweet thing that I love they do in Southeast Asian cooking. If you cannot find dark soy, you could use plum sauce would be fine. That's plenty, really. And maybe half as much fish sauce as dark soy or plum. And this is the salt for the dish. It's basically anchovy water. That's ripe. Look, we got a smoking hot wok here. See that? Let's see how hot our pan is. Look at that, little beads of water formed up right away. We're gonna dry that because water and oil aren't happy with each other ever. Here comes our grapeseed, you ready? We're gonna come around the edges like that. Give it a quick thing. The whole bottom is coated. Here comes the garlic. All right? Now the second the garlic is fragrant, which is right now, we're going with the ginger. And I smell that already, and here comes the bok choy. Look at that. So that's perfect. We've got the crisps of the garlic. Let's throw those sesame seeds in so they get a little bit toasted. I smell that already. All right. And we can just put, oh, this looks like it needs a little stir. And now we can come in with that. Just glaze it around. Honestly, that's done. local bok choy greens with just a light, sweet and savory sauce. Smells delicious. You know, it was cooked for less than a minute. It's great. The fact that we used very, very little ginger, very, very little garlic, that we used very, very little fish sauce and very, very little of the dark soy, and really cooked this for a very short period of time at a very high heat makes it taste vibrant and fresh, even though it sort of has this brown sauce. And you can hear that the bok choy has held its crispness in their stems and roots. I mean, it's great.